who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hello, Eldorados. Larry Elder here, and welcome to another edition of And Another Thing. This is edition number 21. I appreciate your patronage. If you want to subscribe to become an Eldorado, go to LarryElder.com. A free copy of Michael and Me, which is an award-winning feature-length documentary on the Second Amendment, will be forthcoming, again, for free. In that documentary, I confront the esteemed director, Michael Moore, and I ask him 3 times how many Americans are alive because they were able to get their guns and defend themselves. And 3 times the director failed to answer. I think you'll enjoy it. So just go to LarryElder.com and you'll get a free copy of Michael and Me. Welcome to the Eldorado world. In any case, Obama wanted to be the non-George W. Bush by doing that. He went on what we call an apology tour, what some people call an apology tour, by saying many times America has led without listening. We have dictated quite often. Obama said stuff like that all over the country, all over the world. One of his first, I believe his first major interview after he became president was to give his interview to Al Arabiya, one of the Arabic language cable channels, in order to show that unlike Bush, he was willing to reach out his fist, as he put it, reach out his hand with an unclenched fist to the Iranians if they would only reach back. Obama even said during the campaign in 2008 that he would sit down with Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran, without any preconditions. It was ludicrous, and fortunately Obama didn't do it when he became president, but he said that, all of which to show the world he was not going to be like George W. Bush. So Obama gets into office. What happens? He sits down with his national intelligence team and he finds out, holy bleep, America has enemies. What does he do? He basically keeps in all the anti-terror tactics that George W. Bush employed and expanded some of them, including the drone operations. Obama has retained the rendition program, which is taking somebody from one country and putting them somewhere else where the second country is not so genteel about extracting information. Obama retained that. He retained the Patriot Act, even though he criticized it as a candidate. He's retained the terror surveillance program, even though he criticized that. And as I pointed out, he has expanded the drone program. So he is, in my opinion, been mugged by reality. And the point behind this whole rant that I'm giving you is our enemies don't care that Obama was trying to be the non-George W. Bush. Our enemies don't care that Obama used to live in Indonesia and pronounces the word Pakistan, because he's far more sensitive to the cultural feelings of people in that part of the world. Our enemies don't care. Our enemies dislike America for all sorts of reasons. Our freedoms, our liberties, the way we treat women, the way we don't oppress women, the way we give women freedoms. The idea of a female running a head of state in a Muslim country like that would be anathema. That's what America is all about, and that is what our enemies are attacking. Now let's go to a few of your questions, okay? Thank you, sir. Skylar from La Palma, California. Is there any one politician or public figure that absolutely makes you shake your head, and why? Yeah, that's a good question. So many politicians have caused me to shake my head. So little time, Skylar. Let's try and find somebody recent. Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden is as dumb as a box of rocks. He's made all sorts of dumb statements. The statement that he made about, here's what I tell Jill when and if Jill is afraid that somebody may be trying to break into our house. Go on the balcony and take the shotgun and fire 2 blasts. That'll take care of it. Gee, Joe, what happens if there's 3 guys or 4 guys? I mean, honestly. I think it was Rudy Giuliani who said, Joe Biden is just not very bright. He's just not very bright. And he isn't very bright. And but he gets a pass because he's just Joe. You know, he can just say something bonehead, and he's just Joe. You know, it's just so many. I can go on and on and on, but that's just one that comes to mind fairly recently. I'll give you one a little more serious level. Perry is from Pico Rivera, California. Hi, Larry. Wondering if there's any position from the Democratic side that you've always felt were good positions to have. Yeah. I mean, no party is wrong all the time. I'm assuming that the Democratic Party has always been softer on the war on drugs than the Republican Party. However, we passed a proposition here in California called Proposition 215 that allowed doctors to prescribe medical marijuana And the Clinton administration said any doctor who so did would lose his license to prescribe medicine, basically putting the doctor out of business. So one would think that the Democrats would be a little softer on that, especially when you had people like Bill Clinton basically joking about the fact that he once tried to inhale marijuana. And Obama has written a book where he talked about the fact that he used cocaine. Yet they are both anti-drug warriors. And one would think that that would be not their position. I also support the Democratic position on abortion, although that's got to be qualified. I think Roe v. Wade was a disaster. It never should have been taken up by the Supreme Court. I don't think Democrats are bad people. I think they do what they do with the best of intentions. I don't think they feel that way about people on my side. I think a lot of Democrats feel that people that don't agree with global warming, don't agree with preserving the so-called safety net, don't agree with expanding public education, are not just wrong, but evil, bad people. And that's one of the problems in this country, and that's why we have such a difficult time with our debate. I'll repeat what I said.
I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be in El Dorado. Go to my website, larryelder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.